Welcome to today's episode of The Growth Zone. I am Christian Bartsch. What is the core benefit of listening to this show? Here it is all about strategies and systems that get you to grow your business. As an entrepreneur or business leader, you need to be ahead of trends. Gain insights that really thrust your business to the next level. Each episode focuses on different aspects of designing, building, and leading companies. Without marketing, sales, innovation, or funding, you will lack the fire for growth. Without management strategies and systems, you are speeding towards failure. For those who listen to the entire episode, I have a special surprise gift. I'm also working on some great guests that are industry leaders in management, innovation, and marketing. Let's get started on today's episode. Hey, in this episode, we're going to look at how to systemize your business. As I referred to in previous episodes, it is so important to have workflows, procedures, even basic manuals on how to do a certain task. And we can always go and say, well, it's logical. Everyone would do it this and this way. No, it is not logical. It's just for us logical because we have understood the best way of doing this task. But unfortunately, we have to explain it to others. As a basic example, people who often like drinking tea, for instance, there's certain kind of teas that need to infuse for a certain kind of minutes. Now, for instance, doing a certain kind of black teas, you need maybe 5 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, 2 minutes. So if you presume that the person who's doing your tea knows how many minutes to let it infuse, you are either very lucky because you hired the right person, or asked the right person to do your tea, or you're very unlucky because they don't know how to do it properly and the tea just tastes horrible. Now, for instance, Tetley's tea. I'll infuse it for 4 minutes. But of course, if I take Yorkshire tea, I might infuse it for 5 minutes or 4 minutes, depending as well on the water that I've got here and there. And for instance, if I take a Prince of Wales, I'll infuse it maybe for 2 or 3 minutes. Now, it always depends on what we're doing. The same thing if you're telling somebody how to package your goods, how to put the protective material around it, the bubble wrap and other kind of things, how to do it properly. The same thing as well, how to keep the car clean. Yeah, you've got company cars, the people don't treat them properly. How to charge it up properly, how to go to the petrol station and get it done properly. There are so many basic things that we think it's totally normal and logical and an intelligent person will do, but unfortunately, even intelligent people will do it the wrong way if it is possible to do it the wrong way. Now, let's look at these things and have a quick look into systemization. Now, have a little mind excursion. Now, in businesses, when we look at how businesses grow and how businesses become more professional, they eventually introduce management systems. Management system is not a software, but it's a set of documentation, of workflows, of let's say, basic descriptive texts that tell us how we have to do something or what we should do in a certain case. For instance, an emergency plan. Emergency plan will tell us what do we do in case, for instance, our main server fails. What do we do if, let's say, our office building has a leak and suddenly the entire office, all the office desks are wet? What do we do? Okay. What do we call? Do we call the plumber? Do we call the landlord? Etc. So we describe all these things in an emergency plan. And of course, the emergency plan should be as well in a place and a location that every employee can access it. So that in the event, they are able to access it and do the right things. The same thing comes to, like for instance, accounting. How do we treat an invoice that comes into our premises? Do we check first whether everything is on the invoice that we need, and this is well by legal perspective as well. Everything there is a tax number, is how much VAT, how much added tax is actually properly described how much is the percentage, how much is the value, or when is the invoice due? When do we have to make payment? Where do we have to make payment? How do we have to make payment? All these things should be on proper invoice, and people need to know, okay, what to look for. The same thing would be as well to what to look for on an invoice that might be actually be a scam, because there are as well invoices that come that actually are not from suppliers, but from scammers who try to scam a company out of the money. Because the company, of course, gets the invoice, they think, oh, some invoice, $50 or something. Yeah, that'll be fine. I don't need to get the signature from the boss. $50, I'm just wasting his time. So the person presumes it must be part of the business because the invoice has been cleverly designed to fit into what is typical. And then they make the payment. And the scammer says, cool, they made it. Next time, sends again an invoice after a certain time, and they pay it again. And after time, he'll have made thousands of dollars of those companies, because each time they don't check it, because there's no procedure and nobody knows how actually to spot the scam. And that's for many, many other things. It's even how do you communicate with customers? What do you do if you have some kind of issue in the business? How do you hire people? All these things you can do. And the purpose of doing all this systemization in your business is to improve the entire workflow, improve the work process. Use your resources in a more professional manner, which means not wasting your staff on stuff that is being done the wrong way, wasting resources, equipment, material, raw material, wasting electricity, creating waste, garbage, all stuff that might even damage the environment, damage the community, damage even your country, your nation, even your national interest. You don't want that, yeah? And that's the key thing. If you want to make something really great, you have to first work on your own part of this being great. Means as well, as a leader, producing the necessary documentation, the process, the management systems, and communicating with your people so that they know what has to be done, when and how. And that doesn't mean that it's then fixed. You, of course, have to adapt. Let's say you've been working with UPS all the time and you suddenly get FedEx as a second shipper. Then you have to write the description how to ship the stuff with FedEx, and as well to explain when do I ship with UPS, when do I ship with FedEx, what do I ship, which way, and what packaging. Yeah. In one of my business, we even had a complete management guide for all our business partners who had shops around the nation, and they actually knew from the picture, from the description, how to explain it to the client, to the buyer who was coming in, dropping in their equipment so we could fix it. And it showed as well the person in the store how to package the particular item. So which box do I pick? What is the right size? And which label do I use? But by not just writing text, but having as well little pictures, they immediately knew, okay, that goes in that box. That I use that label. Simple. It's a no-brainer. And that's the great thing about getting your management system into a way that it actually creates benefit. Because if you just create a management system just to have the paperwork or just to be more bureaucratic, then you've got it the wrong way. Because systemization doesn't mean creating bureaucracy. If you are a bureaucrat and you love bureaucracy, fine. But I don't like bureaucracy. I like systemization that is efficient and doesn't waste resources, money, time, people, environmental resources, and gets the job done properly. Because that helps you increase the revenue, increase the time you can focus on your clients, on your buyers, and you can generate value for everybody in the community. And you generate as well new opportunities to do joint ventures, corporations with other businesses, and create value as well in that. And at the end of the day, that's how you create more jobs and create a more sustainable contribution to your local, regional, and global community. Because at the end of the day, we all live on the same planet. And if you damage the planet with some kind of inefficiency, some kind of waste, you are hurting everybody else and yourself as well. So be a systemizer, make things more efficient, write this stuff down. Don't just tell people what to do, show them, write it down, make it sensible, understandable. Shorter sentences are the key value. Take pictures, images, and they immediately understand it. And if necessary, get posters printed, stick them on the wall. Doesn't matter. As long as people see it and they understand it, you've done your job right, and you'll eventually see that the revenue and the profits will increase if you've done it the right way. So get on, get it done, get your management system on the track. Wait, listen. Was the content helpful? Please share it on social media. The world is constantly changing in response to trends and events. As a leader, you need to adapt your business. Stay connected. You will find in the episode description how to gain more insights. Subscribe to my bi-weekly business secrets letter. Gain access to all updates of my ultimate guide on business growth strategies. These can be applied to your business in the US, Canada, or Europe. Check it out. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of The Growth Zone with Christian Bartsch. Thank you for listening.